are live and direct on the YouTube.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Listen to Evolution. I am joined here today by Poltergeist and Trademark-S and Mr. SeaTactics. It's a funny name. We all have funny names, but it's okay because they're cool, funny names.
Yes.
So, today we're going to basically be listening to the album, but before we do that, we are going to ask some questions. So if you two could just introduce yourself, starting with Man of the Hour, Trademark-S, and then going into Poltergeist.
Hello, my name is Trademark-S. You can call me Steve, as my friends call me. I set off on making an album called Evolution about 7 months ago. And it all started with a poem called Comatose Dreams. And from there, I decided to evolve and make a vision and create music that enhanced a live experience while still being recorded media at the same time. So it's like album meets live show. There is lots of art music. There's lots of hip hop. It is just a mishmash of artistic freedom and funness. And I wanted to go into a very, very deep dive of mental health, of addiction, of depression, poverty, things that I have overcome and have experienced, and some things I still do experience in life. And hopefully give a relatable point of view for others that may be dealing with the same stuff. Yeah, that is the basic synopsis of this album without giving too much away ahead of time.
All right. Poltergeist, introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Poltergeist, and I am the head CEO of the record label Poltergeist Productions. And I worked with Steven on this project. I really put my heart and soul into this project just because I wanted to bring his vision to life. I wanted him to listen to this album. I wanted other people to listen to this album and just picture it in their heads. So I think we accomplished that, but you guys are just going to have to listen for yourself and see what you think.
Headphones are strongly recommended. We did lots of soundscape planning with this. There's lots of directional panning and mixing that went into this album to give it a full sound, to give it an experimental sound, and more importantly, to make it seem like you're actually there and you're hearing music reverberating like off of the walls of a concert hall. So sit back, grab your best pair of headphones, and tonight we are going to have the single best podcast listening party that Trademark-S has ever had. Yeah, because I'm being humble as shit. But yeah,
So
get yourself some headphones, kick back, relax, and we're gonna get this show on the road.
yeah. Before we just dive into the album, I think it's nice to preface these songs with a little bit of a cue. So this is kind of for both of you guys, but more so for Poltergeist. How did you meet Trademark-S or Steven?
So I met him through the advertisements on Facebook. Everybody was just dogging him, what he put out. They weren't offering constructive criticism. So I felt it was my job to go in there, back when I was striving as an artist and I was like starting out with rap and hip hop, I did not get the support I really needed. So I wanted to give him a helping hand, kind of offer some advice and whatnot, and got talking. I did a few things for him just to help him out, and then, now we're here.
Now we are here, and we have a completed piece of artwork.
Yeah, and you bring up a bunch of people dogging on him, not really offering any constructive criticism or anything like that. What was that first reaction to his music? What was your honest, like, emotional reaction? Was it something, did you think, oh, the audacity on this guy to put out music like this? Or did you think that, oh, this is like, there's something in here. He just needs somebody to help guide him along the way to a better.
So when I first heard Trademark, I heard, how do I put this? I heard somebody who has potential. You know what I mean?
Right.
With music, you never stop advancing. You never stop learning. People who are like, oh, damn, I'm the best. They aren't. Music is an ever learning, ever changing game.
Truth.
You're never going to be great at something.
Yes, very true.
I wanted the reason when I first heard him, I was like, you know what? I could give him some pointers, help him out here. You know what I mean? Let's see how I can help him. Let's see how he evolves and changes from the advice given.
Mm-hmm.
And and now we're here. I feel like he's getting, he's a lot better from when I first offered advice. And I say that with kindness. That trade.
Yes, sir.
We're
moving along.
Yeah, so I'll continue to help him out, and whatever I learn, I'll bounce it off of him, and hopefully whatever he learns, he can do the same, and we can kind of use each other to improve.
Yes, sir. That's the name of the game right there.
Yep. Improvement. That's the name of it. So Steven, you talked about earlier about sort of the vision of the album.
Yes.
How did Poltergeist help you deliver on that vision?
So, Poltergeist helped me professionally produce my sound to the exact way that I envisioned it, in ways that I could not do with my level of expertise and my software. Things that I do not quite have the knowledge and experience to do yet, he was gracious enough to help me along with. We did lots of experimenting with sounds in terms of timbre, like drums, the bass end of things. Lots of experimental, just, I guess, crunchiness, very fat sound that I can't get with my programs that I use. And he also has helped a lot with finding my correct vocal sound that I've been striving for a long time, and I'm really excited for you guys to hear this, because it is like nothing from Trademark that you have heard before.
So Poltergeist said, what do you think makes Steven different from other artists?
Well, let me start that off with, this man definitely has a vision, and I will give him that. Everything from Showtime to even the intro, Time to Evolve. This man is artistic. Like, he has a sound he's going for, and I've never heard anything like that.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? It's completely original, and the as long as I've known Trade, you know, I can tell it's definitely Trade too. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
I can tell a lot of hard work, his heart was put into this project.
I appreciate that. Thank you. The props
Yeah,
means the
yeah.
No
world, my
worries.
dude.
So, Steven,
Yes,
what
sir.
do you think was the weirdest inspiration for like a track on this album?
The weirdest inspiration for a track on this album. Huh. So, I would say the weirdest was probably how I came up with the intro. Um Basically I was just like, yo, I was experimenting with things. I was like, yo, what would it be like to get like a live concert hall sound with just as minimal production as you possibly can get. Um like keeping things very very low and then just bumping things in the master later. Um and I was like, that's not something that people usually go at when they start with making a sound. But I was like, screw it, no one else is doing this, so I'm gonna do it. So, um, I decided to do something completely off the wall, completely experimental, and I would say that that's probably the weirdest thing. Um, like in terms of actual storyline behind a song, a lot of them have very very deep meanings to me. um like there's songs on here about my own struggles with mental health, my own past struggles with dependence and addiction, my family's struggles with poverty, living paycheck to paycheck, just everything that I have experienced goes into these songs, and it's my heart on my sleeve. Um, but like, I don't really feel like there are any outliers. I do try to have like a strong message behind it, even if I'm making a very very poppy song. Um, and I go at it with my own kind of style and flair to it, in a very freestyle approach to it. Um, with just authenticity that most people will not, or most artists do not give these days. I feel like that's what hip hop is lacking. Um, Hip hop has gone, well, there are still artists out there, I will say, that still wear their hearts on their sleeve. But these days in hip hop, it is very much back to a kind of more shallow lyrical style stuff that you would want to hear on the radio, like bubblegum.
Do you
Um,
think that do you think from what you're seeing out there, do you think that helped inspire some of that direction we see on this
yes,
album? Do you think?
yes, that is the complete inspiration. Um, so my first album was really the kicking point that I really started trying to go for this message based, like what people need to hear as opposed to what they want to hear. I got that from listening to NF's album The Search. The first time I listened to it, I was like, bro, this is awesome. I want to do something like this where every song has a message. Um, so I did. uh, and then I decided to go at it and do it again, but do it with a different sound and a different flair, if that makes sense.
Mhm. A little bit more, reeling it back a little bit.
Yeah.
Not necessarily about the album here, but more of some personal questions now for
Mhm.
Poltergeist. I think some people may be interested in him a little bit. I have to ask, how long have you been working in this role as a producer? So,
To be honest, um, I when I just met Trade, I told him I was teaching myself how to like produce and whatnot. I feel like my experience as a producer has greatened due to this project, and so I mean, I guess not very long. I was kind of in the same boat where I needed people to master my stuff, but now I am doing things that have, I guess, that I've never thought was that. Gosh, I'm stumbling on my words.
You're good.
That I thought was never possible. You know what I mean? That I thought I could never do them. So, you know, I feel like I said, I've greatly increased in skill from doing this project. And when you're mixing and mastering, there's so much that goes into it. And back before I even took this project on, I feel like I was just getting better and better with each song, because going back to what I said, you were never just great at music. You're always improving. So that's the mindset I look at.
Yes, sir.
What was that tipping point? Oh man, this is something I really want to strive to get better at. Was there that moment, or was it something that you just kind of fell into from the very beginning, and you just kept doing it more and more because you enjoy it, and you never really thought about it?
I've always thought about it, but it's never something that I actually sat down and was like, man, this is easy, right? Like, I'm an overthinker. So when I sit and I'm listening to myself, I just overthink. And believe it or not, this is going to sound so stupid, but what pushed me up was I seen a YouTube comment that said, if you are overthinking it, you're doing it wrong. And ever since then, my whole producing game has just changed. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Because I realized I was just focusing too much on things that don't even really matter,
Exactly. Yeah, your mind can be it can create amazing things, but you can also end up worrying about something that the listener may not even hear, or you may not even need to fix.
Exactly. And to back to the original question, was I had a single come out. I paid money to have that done, and I was like, you know what? I think I can do that better. you know, I feel like I can do that. I just had this mindset you can do anything you put your mind to. Mm-hmm. I'm not about to pay this dude more money. I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna learn myself. And here we are.
Yeah, that's interesting because both you and Steven have the kind of thing of I can do this better, and I'll do it my own way. And you know what? But that's the great part of it. And 10 years down,
some days you gotta just say, I don't give a F, and you gotta just go at it.
Sometimes you just gotta do it yourself. If you want something, might as well learn it, from the ground up and do it.
Very true.
Make your own.
True.
Exactly.
Oh shoot!
And you know what?
Oh Lord!
I just hopped in. No. I just hopped into my own stream to see if I could hop into a live chat here.
Well, a couple more questions for Steven, and then one more for Poltergeist, and we'll into the music itself.
Sounds good.
So, Steven, your last album, 21, and this new album, I mean, really, you go back into 21 and you listen to it, and I assume what we're going to hear tonight here on Evolution, there's going to be,
worlds
apart of difference and evolution.
Yes, sir.
Do you just, real quickly, don't spend too long on it. I don't think you need to. The music's out there for people to listen to if they want to go listen to it. But, compare and contrast 21 to Evolution. What do you think is the biggest takeaway from you personally in your experience from that album to this?
I actually went and listened to 21 at work today. It's funny that you mentioned that. Um, the biggest difference between 21 and Evolution is that Evolution is more defined. 21 is very much a starting point to kind of hop off and like start going in a direction where I wanted to go. Um, Evolution is me building upon that and continuing with that style and evolving it and making my own sound. Um, my own sound to go with my own style, if that makes sense.
Right. I think
Mhm.
you've carved that out pretty well just looking at the track listing. I mean, we have a 10.5 minute song
Yes, sir.
on Evolution, a 7.5 minute,
Hmm.
6 minute. These aren't. This isn't
This is
normal.
not normal hip hop. No,
Yeah.
sir.
Like you guys have been saying, there's a vision here, and you definitely have a vision.
I
So
appreciate that.
one more for Polter. We'll wrap it up with one more for Steven. Poltergeist, what was your favorite track to?
Ooh, I mean,
Hmm.
to be honest, I have a few. It's kind of hard to just pinpoint one. Probably Time to Evolve, the intro.
Hmm.
It's so robust and it's so unique. You're never gonna hear anything like this. You know what I mean?
Oh, thank you.
It's definitely it's one of a kind, and that's probably my favorite track if I had to pinpoint it down. But I also have to say, probably, oh man, I love Young, Lost, and Deprived, the album version and the remix.
Hmm.
And I love Comatose Dreams.
Yeah, Comatose Dreams is my personal favorite.
Hmm,
Yeah.
that's that's that 7.5 minute track.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
expecting some rush from this one.
Yes, sir.
This better
I'm
be.
hoping it can deliver.
So, I mean, you talked about a little bit in the beginning with your opening words about the album,
Yes.
but is there anything else you want people to take away from this album that you haven't already talked?
Um, Follow your dreams and don't be afraid to be different.
Yeah,
Yeah. Also,
very
love each
po-
other. Love each
exactly.
other as you love yourself. That's my one takeaway. And a good portion of this album's proceeds are going to be going to charity. I am going to be keeping very, very little of it. So just know that this is not a cash grab. Um, 15%
Madeline.
of royalties will be going to the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, and an additional 35% will be going out to various charities in my area. So it will be a full-fledged charity album.
All right, very good, very
Yep.
nice. Madeline in the live chat
Mhm.
has a question.
Yes.
She says, "Have you felt at any point you should give up? And if you have, how did you push yourself to keep going?" And then she says, "It's always inspiring to hear when an artist keeps striving through the rough."
So the biggest time that I ever wanted to give up, there have been a few. Um, so I I'll give one that relates to this project, and I'll give one that relates to my music life in general. Um, so the first one is one that some of y'all out there may recognize. So I did a remix when I was first starting rapping of "Till I Collapse" by Eminem. I did it in one take, a very, very screamy style, and it took me like 17 takes to get that one take. And at the end, it was like super upbeat and shit. And people kept on like giving me a whole lot of grief. I caught a bunch of grief for that. I learned from there that, people's words are just words. At the end of the day, they're going to keep doing their thing. I'm going to keep doing my thing. I'm going to see them all the time in my comments section, and that doesn't change anything. They're people just like I'm a person. It's just we see things differently, if that makes sense. I see art as a form of progression. Most people see art as a form of perfection. Bars. Completely by accident, I just made a freaking bar. But yeah, feel free to use that, anybody out there, because I will not remember that. But yeah, basically just keep being yourself, and don't give a single flying shish kebab what people think. And I can't use the F word because of YouTube's live streaming censorship, so I apologize for that.
Well, that is fine. I want to say thank you to Madeline for asking a question.
I actually had one more example here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, there was one more example that really, really pushed me to my limits. I've told Harry Mack about this. I've told my homie Index about this. I've told Ben about this experience. But besides my friends from music school and like the percussion department, people generally don't know this story. So I went to Christopher Newport University on a very generous scholarship that I was very blessed to have. And I went in there as that hotshot music major who, had this big ass scholarship for composition. I came in and I got put in my place really fast. So I was learning Stevens grip, which is a 4-mallet marimba grip freshman year. Boot in my ass. And schedule me a part in our big family week or holiday happening concert, where I would be playing marimba on stage by myself in front of a nearly sold out Diamondstein concert hall. 1,600 people. I had 3 weeks to learn this thing. I really wanted to quit at that point, but I pushed through. I made it to that concert. I played that concert, and it wasn't perfect, but at the end, I made it through. The people clapped for me, and it was not a pity clap. So, just push through. Try to persevere in everything. Everything. Don't let a challenge stop you.
At least you weren't me when I was on stage in one of my first big concerts where I started playing the wrong song.
Oh, shoot. I've done that a time or two. I've done that a time or two.
You just hear people from across the stage going, no, not that one.
What's even better is when you misconstrue your pep band director's hand signals for a song, and you're the only person playing drum set, and you start playing at a tempo that has a drum solo at the very start for a song that is much slower and does not have a drum solo at the start. So
that's amazing.
So don't you even worry about it, my dude.
Well, thanks for commenting, asking your question, Madeline. Appreciate it greatly. But now we're gonna let
appreciate you.
Yep. now we're going to let the music speak for itself. We're going to see the hard work that these two young gentlemen put into their creation, and we'll pop back in and we'll talk about it again.
In between each song here. Alrighty. So, in 3, 2, 1, here we go. Time to evolve. The intro. Let's get it. 3, 2, 1. I found that as we get older, we tend to change.
Change.
Men are said to evolve and morph through the ages. But as we grow in age, we too phase through stages toward a world of truly perfect faces. Staging from phrases written by a pad and a pen. Making moves to ensure my arms are wide open. Space to improve in skill. Most of kin spoke of him. From the future, they come to see the vision.
Future, they come to see the vision. From the future, they come to see the vision. From the future, they come to see the vision.
Will they ever see its vision? Visionary of its time. Are the eyes of the world open wide, seeking the green of the trees, the blue of the sky? Can we use this art to better our lives, enriching each other not just for blind pride, making positive changes to fix a platform that's been hijacked by pop acts and lies? Keep it real, keep it authentic. I'll never disguise. They'll hear these sounds from the underground. It's time. Alrighty. That was the introduction. Time to evolve.
That was, it's the first time I've listened to this track. Both of you have listened to this countless times.
Yes.
I assume.
Yes.
Especially Poltergeist, who's
Probably
been working
hundreds.
on it. Yeah. The first thing that really stood out to me is the vocal effects. That was pretty incredible. Whose idea?
So, the change vocal was initially Pole's idea. The kind of vocal panning that we had in the middle, like with the whispers, I kind of had an idea for like a panning around like certain spots on the ears for that, and it ended up coming out really good. But Poltergeist took a lot of the forefront in that. So
my idea behind it was, especially on that change part, right? Because it's like you're changing, right? So it's
Yeah.
change. Like I'm just trying to be symbolic with what I'm, with what Trade's putting down, right? Like
Yeah.
really bring it like forefront.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah. Um, I mean, as well, the saxophone. Who is playing the sax on this track?
That is my homie Equinox the Ubiquitous. He was my college roommate. David Guy, the greatest tenor sax player since John Coltrane. I'm
Damn.
talking this man up. But yeah, go check him out. He is the rapper, keyboardist, and saxophonist for Hostile Animals.
Check it out, Hostile Animals.
Yeah.
I was I the one that played. Did I play on this track?
You did.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, you did all the guitars on this track.
Yeah. So I did guitars and bass on this track. I was playing Call of Duty. Steven was like, "Hey, got a thing for you," and it took a while to get to it actually because I'm dealing with some personal issues. But once I finally got to it, he just basically said, "Play whatever you want," and that's usually what he says to me. He usually says, "Play whatever you."
Yeah, I usually just like go crazy.
And then I play whatever I want, and I'm like, I hate this. And I didn't really, I guess, for my inspiration on this, on my parts, if I remember correctly, was, I was just really trying to play something. I don't know. I remember one time Stephen said I was the white BB, and so I was like, I'm gonna try to be the white BB King on this track, and I think that's where that
Okay.
came from.
Okay. Awesome.
So
It almost has like a what Poltergeist was saying is it has almost like a Westworld type of vibe to it. The guitar tracks, and I was like we both really liked that sound, and then we wanted to build on top of that. So I had overdrive samples made and panned around the ears, synth samples, and then I played a drum track for it. And we just went crazy with this. And it just built and built and built, and the vision got bigger and bigger and bigger as we went along. It evolved from essentially a piano solo panning between the ears for 3 minutes to a piano solo and a couple of guitar tracks to what it is now.
Yeah. And the percussion on this is, I mean, I think definitely the sax, from what I could tell, is really what really helps, elevate this. But the percussion really did seem to have like a lot of, it had a lot of presence. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
Kind of stand out a little bit more because it was panded all around, very dynamic sounding, very cool sounding. This whole track, great opener, by the way. This I was blown away by this. To the point I didn't even know I was playing on it. So
Yeah. I appreciate that. Thank you.
So if there's any closing remarks, let those be had now, unless there are. I guess get into the next track.
I just want to say that this is the best opening song that this album could have, and that's my honest opinion because it's literally showing how his sound has evolved, how his thought process has evolved as well. You know what I mean? Just playing into that whole evolution.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
Alrighty. So, our next song on the album has already been released. I released it back in February. This song is called 5 Alarm, and it is produced by the homie Samuel Vondra. Piccolo Beats by Samuel. Shout out. That's the homie right there. And this is our formal rap intro, if you will. So I will give you guys a 3, 2, 1, and we'll get it going. 3, 2, 1. Shouts to Piccolo Beats by Samuel. Shouts to T Dizzle. Let's get this shit. Chilling in my cockpit, my brain going cybernetic. Robot shit, if you hate, why'd you bought this shit? You never seen another man rock like this. You never seen such thought like this. Nope. The game wasn't ready, but I am. I got this. Gonna tear another hater down for thinking he's hot shit. Wow. Smash the intro intricate. Casting spells like a lost switch. What? Died in COD. Hope I spawn quick. Eat chips like some hog shit. I'm starving. Pat's a rock kid. I'm starting. I can't imagine this game and I parting. I fell in love. We engaged and I'm marching down the aisle toward the priest with the parchment. We stand at the altar and he asks for objections. Some commenter typing fast to appease his obsession. You're never gonna get anywhere, he says in his mom's basement. Feeling dejected, I've come this far, who could have projected? I fucked the game deep with no protection. That's what the honeymoon is for, enjoy your rejection. Second album coming by flame protection. Trademark will leave a mark, get smacked by my erection. Critics out here expect instant perfection. It ain't that simple, that's a life lesson. If you want to improve, you gotta learn from rejection. Over the years I've had multiple sessions where I left the room angry and dejected. I've been turned down, but that never slowed me down, cause this chip on my shoulder is so big that it touches the ground. I wanna make the art world renowned. I want to stick to making my own sound, bumping speakers in the car when no one's around. Learn to spot bullshit, working at a dog pound. When I hear you rap, the smell resounds all around. If you can't break that bar down, maybe you should study the art. Follow Trademark as he rhymes from the heart. Listen back to the start of Last Generation, the intro part. Review that sentiment, then tell me I'm wrong. I'm not. Your argument won't last long because that song is a truth just prolonged. Every verse I've dropped is my real thought. These drums are my heartbeat. This ain't about money or yachts. Your life is segmented into parts. When you find yourself, the midpoint starts. One day you'll reach the climax, but for now you're writing notes in the syntax, teaching people lessons with facts, coming up with lines first to last. It's fire. Wow! By the line, the king should call the squire so they can go try to douse my desire, but it grows every passing day. Their condition grows dire. I was never the first pick slept on, found on the waiver wire. They found me and went the distance. The others are out of the playoff, so I'll be here underground admired as my praise gets higher. Buyer beware, you'll be deceived by players. They claim they're the truth, but there's nothing there. Don't fall into lies, don't get caught in the snare. Authentic thought will free you from there. It will. One last thought, well I've got you there. I'm putting in work, can you tell they're scared? When y'all say I ain't a bar spitter, they play themselves like Tiger in PGA games. Y'all couldn't lift my shoulder weight. I'm investing my life to make this name. I'm sacrificing my health for art. I told you this ain't about fame. Front to me, and you're to blame. Watch your career go up in flames. Who's next to get ate? My DMs are filled with rage and hate. I shake it off and work till I fill my plate. Baking every day like making souffle. Judge me like a court date, but never question the grind. You can't slow down a runaway train. Wow! Evolution is the record you'll never trade. Get in the house of insulation, I'm tearing it down to a foundation. Back to the days when rappers thrived in the pavement. Motherfuckers, that's trademark. You can't stop the sound of my beating heart. If you want scrap, then let's start. I'll shoot you down like I'm the baby at Walmart. So step off, because your gas ups will get thrown away like lawn darts. You don't need them either way, cause you forgot the keys to your golf cart. Big flex. Bye-bye. So, I'm gonna talk this one out, since it just, the intro just kind of fades out, or the instrumental kind of just fades out. So, on that track, essentially, I just wanted to, as they say, talk my shit. Because I had been getting a lot of comments and stuff from people that had a very negative mindset. And I just decided that I was going to put them in their place. And then 5 Alarm happened.
Yeah, you can definitely tell from lyrics like you have to learn from rejection and, you know, a chip on your shoulder. Those themes definitely really shine through here. But what was it like as well working Samuel and Piccolo Beats?
So Piccolo Beats by Samuel, I actually found this beat through my other friend, Sam T. Dizzle. He found this beat and did it for like a school project. He wrote a rap about something or other. I can't remember what it was. But he sent this beat to me. He was like, I feel like you could absolutely destroy this beat. So I listened to it and I fell in love with it right away. And the beat's called Ice by Piccolo Beats by Samuel, and it's free. But like, this man knocked that beat out of the park. Like the panning on the percussion and stuff, like that really sold me. Sam is a very, very good dude too. He helped me a lot with my early progression and stuff as an artist, and I can't thank him enough for that. My dude.
Poltergeist, any comments on this track?
That was definitely an experience. You know, the line that probably got me right was the get effed, no protection. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Right? Like I was like, damn, that's a bar. You know?
Yes, sir.
You know?
That's what the honeymoon
overall,
is for. Enjoy your rejection.
Yeah. Overall,
Yes,
I think that's a great track.
Appreciate it. Thank you, my dude.
So I guess now it's time to get next track, unless there's any more comments.
The next track.
7.5 Comatose Dreams.
Yes, sir. So, I will warn the audience beforehand. This is not like anything you have heard before, more than likely. And I will just let you know that ahead of time. And I am not going to give you any other context. I'm just going to give you a 3, 2, 1, and we're going to go. All right. 3, a 2, a 1, a comatose. I awaken on the cold floor of a cave. No light to provide sight or show the way. The sound of dripping water comes from the left, very faint. But the rest is just silence in all ways. It's almost peaceful. I push myself up off the floor and look to the left. Nothing there. Look to my right. Think I see a light, more like a glow. But I can't tell what it is, so I approach. It's my poetry book. A small beacon of hope. I pick it up and flip it open, bathed in a yellow glow, illuminating from the words that only I know. But I can't read them. I realize what's going on. My eyesight is poor with no glasses on. So I set it down and crawl on the cold ground, hands and knees, so I could see if I could track down what I need to see. I reach the cave wall, unable to see it all. Then suddenly the ground opens up and I begin to free fall. feeling opens up in my stomach and I can't explain. But I survey my surroundings and it's almost sandy. That's when I realize I'm on a beach. The sound of waves crashing, not out of reach. I sit for a moment and suck it all in like a leech. I don't imagine this is something I can teach. I hear a faint footstep to my right in the sand. I look up and I see a man. He's watching from the distance. He's got something in his hand. I can't tell what it is from my vantage, so I rise to a stance and move in his direction. A welcoming smile spreads across his face as I approach. I say hello, and his response is shalom. Oh no, you don't speak English is what I think to myself. I continue to get closer, gliding across the sand when I realize what the man has in his hand. Are those my glasses? I shout in disbelief. As he begins to respond, I lose my feet and tumble forward into a void. I look up and the man peers down at me as I fall. I see him reach out and drop my glasses. As I fall, I catch them and put them on. The world becomes more visible, like a new dawn. Suddenly, I'm no longer falling. I'm standing on something abnormal. It's hard, rough, and brown. Looks like a giant rectangle with sharp borders and angles. So I walk to the edge and look down. Looks like the fall isn't too far, so I hop down. I land on the hard wooden floor and walk around. Suddenly something shakes the ground, then again and again. A huge sound. Then something comes into view that astounds. The form of a person is looking toward my direction. I'm terrified now. What can I do? Okay. That's
So that was
comatose
incredible.
dreams.
That was an experience.
Thank you, brother.
I have so many questions.
Yes.
I
I
have
have so many answers.
I don't even know what I just listened to, but I know I love it. That this is honestly, and I'm not, and I am biased as a friend towards Steven, but that is, god damn it, that is the best thing I've listened to this whole year. I haven't listened to anything quite like this artistic, this musical, this raw, this emotional in more than a year. I would say 2 or 3 years. This is one of a kind. I don't even know what to say.
Thank you so much.
I mean, I would say I'm speechless, but I do have words. I just don't know how to put them into form sentences things. I just starting off. I mean, who is this piano player? And they're amazing.
This piano player goes by the name of Sample Board in MuseScore.
All right.
Yeah,
well, okay.
I wrote the piano piece based on leitmotifs, which is a style of basically operetta, which repeats themes for different emotions and different scenarios. So you have like the serene theme where it's like the da da da, that kind of thing. And then you have the free fall theme, which is kind of the drone on the A flat and the B flat. Just lots of moving themes throughout. And then like big moments are highlighted by that giant building chord. And basically, we just made a soundscape using one piano to tell a story. And we wanted to basically make a fully immersive audio movie with narration.
It immediately felt like I was experiencing a story through music. And I know you always do
Thank
that,
you.
but like it was so cinematic. So there was something about it that it really immersed you from the get-go. And I think Poltergeist, my guy, that was amazing. How did you even begin to wrap your head around this?
Well, first, it started off as just spoken word, and then Trademark, he told me, he's like, we need to add like some sounds to it, and I was just kind of waiting to see what he wanted to do, and I was kind of blown away like once it all came together, you know what I mean? To give the piano like a real feel, I added some heavy like reverb to it, I don't know if you could tell by listening to it, but it sounded like it was like being played live.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, the sound effects going on. I wanted to have the sound effects to also accompany the story. Like in the beginning, you hear like the dripping water in the cave.
Water on the left.
Yeah. Yep. So I tried to help bring his vision together with this song, and I think we overachieved the expectation there.
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
I mean, there's so many standout moments. I mean, just the whole thing is really standout. There's no weak part in this track. Just going off the first listen. I mean, like we just said, water in the left ear. You got the poetry book, which is a beacon of hope. The free fall, which was incredible. Putting the glasses on, and then the ending. There's a little bit of a fake out ending.
Yeah.
You think it ends, and there's just a little bit more. Just the dying calm
We'll have to
whisper.
see if that's a cliffhanger.
Oh yeah, that is
I said
true.
we'll have to see. No guarantees. But is it a cliffhanger? I don't know. I'm just a dirty little tease.
I mean, so far, this is my favorite track so far.
That being said, would you like to move on to our next track here? By the title of Young, Lost, and Deprived. So, I will give you a... What's up?
Oh, I was just saying I'm down. Let's go.
Oh, okay. I thought you said something else. I will give you a 3, a 2, a 1, a go. think you know trade, but the thing's man-made. Long nights wish you'd seen what's done to find Steve. Can you find me? Lend a hand. Feel free. That's not for you, though. That's for me to know. Dragged by undertow, lost in overtones, making a series of letters to myself. Paint the picture of me and my past self. Am I obsolete? Put up on a shelf? Will I ever wander free from these shackles? My brain is damaged with issues to tackle. Come and hold me down. Pen, paper, and tacks. When will I bounce back? Cut myself some slack. I wish I would do that. But that's not where I'm at. Gotta keep grinding. This hole that I'm in will implode into the tallest mountain. Maybe I'll climb it. Higher the temperatures of the changing climate. If I reach the top, will my problems stop? Probably not, but shit. If I can move up, I won't ever quit. I'll reach the tip. The tip top and view over the valleys that were in my past. Look how far I've come, what I've overcome, my past life in drugs, before I found love. I watch in the sky as a dove flies by and catches my eye, moving rapidly toward forward directions. Will I follow it or stay rejected? A choice we all make every day, to take a step out of bed, to stay awake and live another day in the outside world where people don't see your life is at stake. It's not as easy as others might say, to live depressed in a funk every day, hiding with a smile the same time as eyes glazed, not interested in other things mundane. Can I reach upward, up to grab the dove? Let it pull me up to the skies above. Can I ascend up to view from bird's eye? Let the wings take me tip-top of the sky, so I can escape from the life despised, feeling ridiculed, young, lost, and deprived. Why are we alive? Should I question why? Where's the land that we go after we die and leave this life behind us goodbye? We seek answers, but nobody knows why. What's this conscious mind that claims we're alive? Have we arrived at the station, or is the train still moving? It's out of control, but keep on cruising. This crisis is man-made suicide and ruin. What is this brewing in the depths below, where the mind falls in and freezes like snow? Will we ever cease from the pyramids that we build to yield our further increase? Can the dove change these ideals that have pleased the men of this world, passing years with feasts while a soldier dies panhandling in the street? Can the dove free these prisoners with binds tight holding their feet? The crime was simply loving the same sex they happen to be? I spend nights like these, pondering the world's deepest, truest needs. Trade. That was Young, Lost, and Deprived.
I am increasingly lost for words. You're making it very hard for me to say things.
Impartial judge.
Madeline says, I personally like this song the most so far. The music goes well with what you're trying to get across.
Thank you.
I mean, you might as well at this point drop the damn mic. I mean, first of all, that beautiful melody on piano is that also you're doing?
No, that is all Poltergeist right there.
Wow, Poltergeist.
Okay, so I'll justify. I said that I can't really play piano, but this is where more of the producing aspect came into play.
Mhm.
I found some samples, made them work, and that's the result we got. And again, with the reverb on the piano, just to give it a more lively.
And it does.
Yeah.
You guys mentioned that this album would sound very live, but also in a studio album atmosphere. And man, this sounds very live. This sounds very raw, very real, organic.
Thank you.
Even though talking about using samples and things like that, I mean, this is incredible. This is incredible. That's all I can say.
Thank you so much.
I agree.
Love the little touches of like when there's that kind of like call and response kind of thing with myself. That was really cool. I like the line, if I reach the top, will my problems stop? Probably not. And that's the truth. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Very
I mean, so.
When you said the song title and lyrics, that was like, whoop. That was amazing. Once again, sound effects with the little the heart thing. What are those things called? Forget.
The heart thing?
But, the beep, the beeping noise.
Oh, the flat line.
Flat line.
Yeah.
That's
why
it doesn't matter. Either way, it's all this was an amazing track.
Thank you.
How did you?
So, this was another one that I sent to Poltergeist. It's just an a cappella spoken word, and he turned it into like a storyteller vibe. We also have a remix of it by the homie Scrub Sounds that is going to be on the deluxe version. But we took some inspiration from the kind of form that he used in his excuse me, yawning into the microphone. We took some inspiration from the style he took with his version, and went forward with that. And we really like how it came out.
All right, so shall we get into the next track?
Yeah.
Oh, just one thing. Just one thing I want to say about that track. With the mix and whatnot, it's the same but different. I also wanted to have polar opposites.
Yeah.
So like with his version, it sounds more lively. When I was working on it, I heard like, just in my head, I heard like a more sad, fluent piano, just to kind of help bring out the emotion and get the point.
Yeah. Very much so. And it's a very, very good direction to go. So, this next tune is called Rainy Day Mood, and I released this one earlier this year. I think it was back in March, if I'm not mistaken, on my YouTube channel. And we did some changes to the master to make it work. And this is the official album product of Rainy Day Mood Freestyle. Okay, I'll give you 3, 2, 1. A 3, a 2, a 1. This song is for all the people out there who think they know me. Piss me off so much. This is what I really go through. I'm in so much pain today, physical and the other way. I wish that as my lifestyles change, that my mental health would do the same. But some days I can't trust myself not to turn back to the blade. Shit, these people think they know me cause they think they know Trade, but they don't know Steve, the person that's behind the name. I wish that I could turn the blame. I wish that I could earn the fame. I wish that I could turn away from this thing I've made. People either want to crown me or hate. There's no in between. I hate when haters tell me to kill me, cause they don't know what I contemplate. When I'm stuck in this dark bedroom, door shut, illuminated by my phone screen. My demons come out, my demons scream. Shit, what is this about? Shit, can you please get out? Shit, can they see me now? Shit, I wish that they could see me now. Can you please quiet down? I'm feeling anxious. Down and out. Cannabis is icy hot for the brain, temporary fix for the pain. I wish that I could find a vein, search with the knife, all in vain. Pierce the skin, Lord's name in vain. Fuck, I wanna feel something other than numbness or pain. Why is my brain like this? 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 Insanity is doing the same over again for a different result. My demons are my insanity. I live the same day over again, expecting to live another day. But we can't guarantee that tomorrow will be better. Why can't I get out of me? Does this mind have a warranty? If yes, I'd like to take it in and get new thoughts for free. Why do I feel so weak? Why do I feel so incomplete? My comprehension is lacking. So instead I fake a smile and tweet. Please distract me from me. Please continue in artistry. Please don't walk around woefully. Please don't say woe is me. Yeah, it's poetic, right? Might get a few likes. Distract me from myself, but it comes and goes. A couple hours pass by penning words for flows. Take a step back and make sure nobody knows. Take a step back and get under control. You can't build a tent without poles. My thoughts are out of control. Damn, back to the same rhyme. People will hate on that on a dime, despite not realizing art takes time. I wish somebody could relate, but nobody has this mind of mine. I'm depressed, I just hide inside. I wish I didn't make this art for pride. I wish I could fight off the high tide, but it pulls me in under the waves. My mind collapses inside. I just realized that there's no hook, but it doesn't matter anyway, even if they said I was whack cause I wrote a book. They can't tell how long it took to wipe the blood off of my wrist as it continued to spill. That's how long it took. Ponder why I'm feeling cooked. Ponder why these memes got me shook. I'm lost. You couldn't give the right directions on the first look. Depression is more than death. It's not represented alone by suicide death or turning to meth. Than that, it's more in depth. I wish my heart would come out of my chest so I could go. That'd be the best, or would it? Can I adjust? Can I make it out of this stress? Is there more on the other side of this mess? Can the train derail? I wish hope could attest. But for now I'm just anxious and depressed, stuck in this mess. Trademark. It started playing a second time. Good lordy, it wanted an encore. So that is Rainy Day Mood. That is a song about the struggles I had with mental health after losing a very, very close friend of mine to suicide. And that is a very, very, very personal song for me. And the reason I put it on the album is I was really hoping that it could bring relatability to someone that's dealing with the same issues, whether it be grief or what's talked about in here, cutting, like that sort of thing. Hoping to help somebody through their own struggle with the most raw take on the issue possible.
Yeah, talk about your vocal performance in this.
So basically, I started writing the vocal line after I had gotten the beat all together and had the guitars on there. I wanted to do something that would accent that really, really fat guitar sound that we had. And I feel like the way I did it with kind of like the halfway scream, shrill, kind of halfway enunciated, is the best way that I could have achieved that.
Okay, sorry, continue.
No, you're good.
Well, okay. With talking about the vocal performance, what about the what is the story behind that?
The instrumental.
Yeah.
So basically, I wanted to make a track that transitioned in very well and transitioned out very well to be like a seamless track that has built-in interludes to give the illusion of a live performance for the album. And basically the piano parts work as a introduction into Rainy Day Mood, those two piano songs, and sonically it flows into each other better. So a lot of the more deep songs are very, very piano based, and we tried to keep a lot of those together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did I also play guitar on this?
Yes.
Oh man, I heard guitars and I thought, well, is it me? I don't remember.
And we changed the placement of the guitars a little bit too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's a goodie.
Any final comments on the song?
I think it's a dope track, you know.
Yes, sir. Oh yeah.
All right.
Alrighty. So moving on to the next tune here. This one is called Artist. This was the first single that I dropped for promotion building up to Evolution. I dropped it in January, right after my NF The Search remix. And this is one of my favorite songs. It's very personal. It's about my struggles that I had with pills and things of that nature. Alrighty, so I'll give y'all a 3, 2, 1, and we will get popping on this one. Alrighty, a 3, a 2, a 1. bloodstream is toxic and I can't stop it. I can't stop elevating the levels, it's noxious. The seventh cocktail will make you feel nauseous. Almost every time I write, I take a step towards my last rites, hoping that what I do before I hit my deathbed is right. This cigar has a nice bite. I like my Phillies flavored with cinnamon. They reeled me in as a young man. Reading the syllabus before I can check my brain for a list of synonyms. Breathing heavy, chest pounding on my symptoms. If the blunt as a roach burns my fingers, hoping this immense bliss will linger, I let out a snicker as I think of my next punchline. These rhymes are my lifeline. People ask me what being an artist is like. I'm anxious, so I can't express myself without thoughts on a mic. So when the bulb comes with a flash of light, I tell them simply it's an internal fight. In my flight, I slowly kill myself in order to make sure my family can finally have wealth. I don't know why I keep popping this Ritalin like it's good for my health. I just don't know why I don't let go of this dream or put it on the shelf. I'm stuck in a deep rut in the ground, so I make my sound but nobody's around. When a tree falls in the forest and hits the ground and nobody's there, does it make a sound? I don't know, but you can save your pound, because I know I'm the realest in town. So watch while I get eaten alive in this dog pound. I work my way down from the deck chair to my bed, working long nights on the notepad, hoping my kids will be fed. I have visions of getting out of this housing project that raised me up, the one that suckered poor families in to make a buck. Ain't that just some dumb luck? Builton is my home, but somehow I feel stuck. It feels like I'm waist deep in the muck. I can tell you one thing, and that's that the higher ups just don't give a fuck. Born with their silver spoons, eating roasted duck. But what if we all work together to change our communities for the better, instead of sitting with your feet up watching the peasants suffer, hoping they can catch a pheasant to ensure their families have supper on the table? What's the fable? Make the world better if you're able, and we're all able. We're all able. Yeah, we're all able. Maybe I'll smoke another blunt and drink some punch straight from the ladle. This is my life, an artist in pursuit of paper. All right, I'll talk this one out because it's kind of just a fade out. That one is Artist. That was actually one of the first songs that I had put together in terms of beats, and I wrote it right around the time I started this project, Evolution, vocally. So yeah, that one is a very, very personal one for me. Heart on your sleeve kind of song.
We got some comments from the live chat here. Juju says, man, I want to watch, but I got to be up at 4.
No sweat, brother. I appreciate you for swinging through.
Gotta say, these two tracks, they flow into each other really, but really, I mean, speaking in terms of production aspects, what was the goal for this? The same thing as the goal for Rainy Day Mood?
The goal for this one is to... You're talking production, right?
Production-wise, yes.
So the goal for this one was to have a very, very bass-heavy, very beefy sound, as if it was resonating like from a stage in a concert hall. Because Like when you're in a very, very small concert hall, it'll have a lot more bass than a larger one would. So if you were to have actual speakers on the stage, you would get a lot more bass than you would treble or mid naturally. And I kind of wanted to go for that kind of feel where it's a little bit more washy with the bass.
Okay. So what was that kind of like Poltergeist? Was that kind of like was that pretty much kind of what you expected going into this? Was, make this, have this big live feeling?
When I was delivered the project, I was informed he wanted it to be live sounding. You know what I mean?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I tried a few things. So basically, I tried to like add some reverb, add a little bit of delay. You know what I mean? Because like when you're in a room and you're like speaking loudly or whatever, you're gonna have that like your voice hitting the walls.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, this whole project has actually like opened me up to a whole new field of making something sound live and whatnot.
Awesome.
Now, when you do what they did in that Guns N' Roses demo, where they put in a live crowd of 10,000 people, even though they're playing in a studio.
Yeah.
That's your
precisely.
next album. The fake live album.
Yes. Very true. So, moving on to our next tune here. We have the start of my charity songs, my views on the racial climate in this country. And this one is called America is Burning, and is written about the riots after the death of George Floyd. So I will actually give America is Burning straight into Pride and Prejudice, which follows it, because those two kind of go hand in hand. So I will give you a 3, 2, 1, and we can get into America is Burning, and then from there I will give you another 3, 2, 1, and we can get into Pride and Prejudice. Alrighty. So, 3, 2, 1. It's time to open some eyes. This has been going on for far too long. America is burning, surrounded by destruction. Yeah. The wheels just got turning, push back against corruption. Yeah. The voices of the unheard are now speaking out loud. MLK had a dream, it's time to enact it now. My mama raised me not to see colors, still was never blind to privilege and struggle. I could walk out my door not being seen as trouble. I wish I could say the same for my black brothers. Police rolled the neighborhood, police got their thunder to try to keep us all pressed down under the thumb of the overlords was never undercover. Keeping my friends oppressed, profiled by the corrupt. Brutality in the street make me want to erupt. Duality and vision will never pass as just. Don't get it twisted, honest on the topic discussed. I'd be lying if I said every cop is unjust. Cause trust, many will do the right thing to help us. So let's focus, take down the bad apples that spoiled the bunch. Toss them out and we'll pack a punch. Trade. America is burning, surrounded by destruction. Yeah. The wheels just got turning, push back against corruption. Yeah. The voices of the unheard are now speaking out loud. Yeah. MLK had a dream, it's time to enact it now. America is burning, surrounded by destruction. Yeah. The wheels just got turning, push back against corruption. Yeah. The voices of the unheard are now speaking out loud. Yeah. MLK had a dream, it's time to enact it now. Let's protest the power that's being abused. They pushed you many times, now you blew the fuse. Make your voices heard, it's time to let loose. Scream loud and let them hear you, speak your truth. teach the youth, hate is taught, give them the right views, treat everyone equal, never pick and choose. Cause if we don't treat each other right, we're all doomed. Strive to welcome all who enter the room. White men put a mod into his tomb. The state tried to sweep it under with the bureaucrat's broom. Blame it on the South, but it's bigger and that's true. Why else would you be ridiculed for your point of view? The cops on Georgia's back knew what they'd do. It's time to punch back cause they swung at you.
Yep.
If you can be peaceful, I encourage you.
I do.
If they don't listen, shout loud till they do. America is burning, surrounded by destruction.
Yeah.
The wheels just got turning, push back against corruption.
Yeah.
The voices of the unheard are now speaking out loud.
Yeah.
MLK had a dream, it's time to enact it now. America is burning, surrounded by destruction.
Yeah.
The wheels just got turning, push back against corruption.
Yeah.
The voices of the unheard are now speaking out loud.
Yeah.
MLK had a dream, it's time to enact it now. And from there, we flow organically into Pride and Prejudice. So this will be another a 3, a 2, a 1, a go. If there's one thing I know, common sense and common courtesy ain't as common as they should be. This nation would be so much calmer if the common people worked together for the common good. Despite what the eyes see, we each have so much in common, people, so why are we a house divided instead of a church with a common steeple? So, why are we a house divided instead of a church with a common steeple? We're so afraid to talk to others that kids decide to turn to needles. Lives unwind like spools of thread while they look on deceitful. Power of the high elite, while a homeless man is panhandling on their streets. They have no eyes for the lives they mistreat. Mishandling our funds as families are left with no shoes on their feet, no clothes on their backs, no food for their mouths to feed. But they sit there in a state of blissful ignorance, braiding policies of racial and sexual intolerance. We won't rest until there's justice for George. That's all of us. Equal rights for all should be the standard. No stopping us. it take? What will it take? What will it take? What will it take? What will it take?
It's burning. It's been this way for years. They're just now learning. Our voices speak loudly here. Our punch back is their earning. Change is their deepest fear. It's really quite concerning. The capital is burning, kept alive by winds of change. The capital is burning. The machine has sparked our rage. Peacefully we siege the streets to stop their misguided ways. We'll wait here for days to avenge the injustice of race. The only way to stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. That's what they claim. Too bad good guys don't carry guns or blades. They don't shoot down their neighbors in fits of blind rage. There are good people out there, but if you take a life, you should spend the rest of yours in a cage. The way I see it, you'd be no better if you owned slaves. Bernard gets crowned as a hero that was never his place. The capital is burning. The capital is burning. It's been this way for years. They're just now learning. Our voices speak loud to hear. Our punchback is their earning. Change is their deepest fear. It's really quite concerning. Capital is burning.
Getz got off. Zimmerman got off.
Why?
The cops who beat Rodney King got off.
Why?
The cops who fired 41 shots got off.
Why?
The Light PD cops got off.
Why?
For what dare Chauvin Stunny better not? He deserves 846 years to rot. How many are we going to let walk after they left black lives in lines of chalk?
How many?
Truly it's a shock that all men are created equal, because not all men are treated equally.
It's
this
true.
is nothing new. There's been 450 years of prequels. We need to enact change so we can release the sequel.
Yes.
Our voices have finally been heard speaking against evil. If this continues, I don't endorse, but it won't be peaceful. The tides of change roll to bring rights to the people. Praying that God will bring change and grant freedom, so the fear and oppression can be replaced with life, liberty, and leisure. Instead of being pushed aside with no brother's keeper, our community has been infected with drugs and needles.
Yes.
They sit back and watch us spoil as they chant, "We the people."
They do.
I chant no justice, no peace, as they send police as their plots to keep us down, watching like we packed heat. The experience comes from strife. I call what I see. They hold us down to drown our American dream. What will it take? What will it take? What will it take? The capital is burning. The capital is burning. It's been this way for years. They're just now learning. Our voices speak loud to hear. Our punchback is their earning. Change is their deepest fear. It's really quite concerning. The capital is burning, kept alive by the winds of change. The capital is burning. The machine has sparked our rage. Peacefully we siege the streets to stop their misguided ways. We'll wait here for days to avenge the injustice of race. The capital is burning. The capital is burning. It's been this way for years. They're just now learning. Our voices speak loud to hear. Our punchback is their earning. Change is their deepest fear. It's really quite concerning. The capital is burning, kept alive by the winds of change. The capital is burning. The machine has sparked our rage. Peacefully we siege the streets to stop their misguided ways. We'll wait here for days to avenge the injustice of race. Where there's pride, there is prejudice. And where there is prejudice, there is pride. The two go hand in hand. And when I look at our government, I see nothing but prejudice and pride. They hold down lives, they keep people pressed down, and it's time to change. Push back. Trade. So, that is America is Burning and Pride and Prejudice.
These two songs,
That is the one
they do go together.
I was waiting for the reaction for, my dude. Pride and Prejudice is probably one of the cornerstones of this album, I would say.
This
10
song
and a
is
half minutes
incredible.
long.
And it's an incredible song. I mean, it really is. I mean, it goes perfectly, you know, with America is Burning and Comatose Dreams in my. I mean,
Thank you.
that scream. Gotta ask. I mean, that's the thing that really stands out here.
Yes, sir.
How long did that take to do?
One take.
Okay, so you just put everything. That's your one.
Yep.
That's it.
I just got all the way to the other side of the room. Took a really, really deep breath and kind of just screamed for as loud as I could and let it naturally decay.
I think the second half, you know, it really stands out, but that's because of the first half and what's going on in here, and it's building up to this crescendo that lasts for quite a while. Honestly, it's
Yes,
pretty
sir.
much the whole second half of the track. This whole crescendo.
Yes, sir.
Talk about the first half. How did that really come to you, and how did that take shape and develop?
That piano solo was entirely improvised, and I actually I had a couple of short verse poems laying around that I just kind of wanted to throw in there. So I picked two of them that worked with the overarching theme, and I put them over top of different sections of the piano there. I wanted like a very beefy, robust piano sound out of it. So I believe what we did was we put a ton of reverb on it, if I'm not mistaken, and then bumped it in the master. And that got the piano sound that you hear there, if I'm not mistaken.
With America is Burning,
Mhm.
there's something I noticed.
Yes.
And it's something that you know, I felt something familiar throughout the first half of this album. Now we're rounding out kind of to the end here of this album. And I finally figured it out. Your voice has this sort of age to it, even though you sound young all the same. It has a certain quality, like a storytelling quality to it, a voice that you want to listen to talk,
Thank you.
listen to doing this, telling a story in this way, and it reminded me so much. And I'm pretty sure another Virginia native band, but more specifically the person fronting this band, a band that me and you are both massive fans of, and that's Clutch. Neil
Yes.
Fallon. You have a very Neil Fallon-like delivery.
Thank you so much. That means the world, man. I'm a very, very big fan of Clutch. Their song "Son of Virginia" is amazing. I love it. So that means the world. Thank you, my dude.
Yeah, no, it's 100% true. So, Poltergeist, talk a little bit about America is Burning specifically. How to get that sound, because America is Burning, it has such I don't know, this almost foreboding kind of doom sounding something, like it's leading in, and it's obviously leading into Pride and Prejudice. How did you make this sound?
So basically, this was actually the first song I did. This is when I really just like started talking to Trade. He's like, I'm basically working on this song, and I was like, oh hey, I could like mix it and master it for you, So like that's before everything. Like I don't know if you can tell the difference, like from like the other songs compared to America's Burning, in my opinion. I don't know if maybe it's just my ear, but I just went with it, right? I tried to, boost up the frequencies and whatnot, equalize it out, make it sound good. And then at the end, I was the one that added the George Floyd thing. I thought that was a great ending to it.
Yes, I agree. 100%.
Yeah, I wanted to end it off with something that would send chills down your spine.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely did for me. With Pride and Prejudice, how did that work out? Was this something because it was a longer track? Was it harder to work on because you wanted all of these little pieces to kind of like shine through, or was it straightforward?
Well, for Pride and Prejudice, that was probably more straightforward for me because I had more of an idea of what to do with it. I'd say honestly, probably the hardest track to work on was the intro, and that's because we were trying to evolve it
100%.
into something, you know. But I mean, with Pride and Prejudice, I talked closely with Trade and tried to get it to that sound that he wanted, because like that's my thing. I'll suggest changes, you know what I mean, but I still want it to be relatively Trade. You know what I mean?
Yes,
so
sir.
like I'm trying to work in the background and push his vision up first. Longer tracks sometimes can be harder to work on because you have to go through, make sure that everything is like level and whatnot. And of course that's like more time dedicated to it, and whatnot. But yeah, I mean that's really what I got to say about that.
Awesome.
Well, there's some live drums on this, and
Yes,
how was it
sir.
like working on these live drums rather than some of these more digitized drums?
To be honest, the live drums were great to work on. So when I say I'm going to walk out of this project with a bunch of experience, you know what I mean? I mean it. Because I've never really messed with live piano. I've never messed with live drums, I never touched that stuff. So, I figured it out, really when you're mixing, you want to do it by ear. You know what I mean? You want to make it sound good, right? So scan the frequencies, listen for what sounds good. And honestly, once I got it down, I found a basis for like what I wanted it to sound like, and to help boost it up, that's what I went with.
I also play bass and guitar on this track as well, so
Yes.
I was surprised to hear myself in this, to be honest. I did not expect it, but yeah, there's my thoughts
Very
on it.
Rage Against the Machine in that section. Very
Oh,
much so.
I'm not as good as Tom Morello.
Sounds like something straight out of Battle of L.A. I gotta say, it really does.
Talking about that. I remember
It
you were
really
talking about
does.
how you're text messaging him like, this is the sound of the Battle of LA.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
I think that, yeah. I mean, but what about this last portion? After the live instruments, where did that stuff come from?
So I had a beat kind of laying around already. And I was doing a song. I was working on a song called The Grind. I had a beat for it. I was like, these lyrics aren't really working out for me. I'm not really feeling it. So I'm going to use this for something else. So I changed the tempo of it, put it to a swing, and then I had Poltergeist go and put it so it clashed slightly with the end of the track, and that was fully intentional to be like, sound guy triggered that, and so it's kind of jarring a little bit. So I had that really crazy like sine wave power chord beat in there. I was like, yo, I gotta use this somewhere. So I figured Pride and Prejudice was the best way to do it, since I couldn't do The Grind.
Okay, fascinating.
Yes, sir.
Any final comments on these two tracks?
I think I think it's a great mashup. You know, it's portraying a great message.
Yes, sir.
And
One that
you know,
needs to be
I
heard.
was exactly, and I was so happy to be able to work on these. And sorry if I like stutter and whatnot. You know,
You're good.
anxiety is something. You know,
I feel you.
So,
I feel you.
but yeah, those are my final thoughts.
Alrighty. So the next track and the last track of the standard edition of Evolution is the Venting, produced by the Soundbar, and he actually produced this instrumental entirely from scratch. I sent him an acapella and he knocked it out of the park. So this is Venting, a 3, a 2, a 1.
This is Trade. Here comes Steve Free shouting built a native. Fearful, please be, clouding, shielding haters. Tears run, them freeze, pouting heatless faces. Here young Steve's peas, outing fearless fakers. Blade run, fierce Steve, feetless record breakers. Trade kills, first degree Pistorius, life taker. Pay dues, first reprieve, hysterical, y'all haters. Take souls, first to leave Gregorius, ring chaser. Shake bros, live the dream, certified earthquaker. Make droves, freeze the trees, petrified earthmaker. You hear these schemes and still doubt my abilities? I have a vision, won't matter if you see. If you acknowledge, stand tall and they will see. I have references, call me Trivia King. Have your preferences? You don't have to listen, King. Same rhymes, so what? It's the way I think. I'm lyrically up to par. Potentially I've got potential to be a star. Run over rappers in my car, Ford Focus, but I want you to focus on these bars. Concentrate, kid, keep your eye on the ball. Look to the stars and see if you see Mars. You can put these dudes in a coffin like Corona, MERS, and SARS. Do it all while you listen to the Cars. Stream of the Hall of Fame in these bars. Wrecking the game, I'll give it my all. Watch me stand tall and never fall. One man laughing down at y'all at the top in the land of the strip mall. Not a tease, but if you strip it down lyrically, you'll see that I'm making kindling of your masterpiece. Oh no, what does he mean? Ask inquisitively. Clearly, what I say will burn you down lyrically, musically, and literally. So better be putting respect on Steve. I'm a Renner commanding this army. Hopefully one day I'll buy this property, settle down, build a home, and make it part of me. Undoubtedly you doubted me. I read it in the comments, B. Now you're touting me. Try to shout at me. You're so petty, jeez. In the East Underground, I feel like the son of Joseph. Parting seeds like Moses, I'm moving to the front, man. There won't be any stopping me. My eyes are set to the T.O.P. If you've heard of Trade, you know I respect the game, so I ain't done. When my mental is tested, feeling stressed out, I beat on the drums until I filleted and fractured my phalanges intensely. I'm not scared of standing alone in the trees. Away from the whack crowd is where I wanna be. So you do you, and I'll keep doing me, continuing on my path and speaking my honesty. Honestly, the authenticity of y'all is weakening. I promise, you won't get any cap when it's me speaking it. I'm preaching my truth, you can veto it, you're lost. But in a few years, you'll be repealing it. You'll be saying you saw this shit. You'll be saying you made this kid. You'll be telling me talk my shit. Hit the bat or I'll walk my shit. Shouts to the GOAT, I'm a soldier. I wear these wounds, weight on my shoulder. My red badge of honor, I'm bolder than the others out, and that's why they're folding. I'm all in on each of these poems. Rapper, hybrid, poet, composer. Shout Kendrick, I'm full Pulitzer. I'm not satisfied until my stomach's full. Eating other rappers' meals are plentiful. America the free became a pot for melting fools. Come for a dream, and you're stuck feeling pitiful. More than it seems, y'all are heated still. Run it back, I said. More than it seems, y'all are just the latest kill. More than the memes, dreams will be fulfilled. You can't stop me, only the tomb will. You can't top me, I'll be your doom sealed. You can't close me, this ain't a zip seal. You can't kill me, because you ain't a big deal. Slap you around till you're black, blue, and teal.
Still I'm saddled to this passion I feel. I'm progressing forward, just believe in. If Logic made it out, so can I, even Steven. I'm stuck to this like Velcro, never leaving. You think I won't succeed? Fuck your feelings. So that is venting. And it is exactly as the title proclaims.
That was great.
Thank you. Thank you so
Very
much.
visceral, very raw.
That was great.
Very good.
I appreciate that. That one is basically me talking my shit, but in a more spoken word style. So I went a little bit experimental with that one, a little bit off the wall, and I'm glad at how it turned out. So moving on here, we are going to be getting into the tracks, remixes, and remasters of the deluxe edition here. So we just finished the standard version of the album. The deluxe edition is going to be slightly more, not much, but it is going to feature a remaster of Mastermind, a remaster of Showtime, a remix of Young, Lost, and Deprived, and audio biography chapter 2 from Built In With Pride in a remaster by Poltergeist. So
I real quick, I just want to say that last track, I just want to point out a few bars that were just like, whoa. So the Ford Focus, but I want you to focus on these bars. I was like, whoa, that's a really good bar.
I appreciate that.
That blew me away. No worries. The next one was I'll make a kindling of your masterpiece. I love that, right? And I love the dark underlying vocals. When I do music myself, I actually play with like a lot of like the dark vocals and whatnot to help bring character.
Oh yeah, 100%. Well, I appreciate that, my dude.
No worries, no worries.
So up next here, we're going to have Mastermind and then Showtime. And those two have already been released. They're remasters from 21. So I will play them for you. These are the Poltergeist remasters. And then from there, we are going to flow straight into the Young, Lost, and Deprived remix by Scrub Sounds. So I will give you a 3, 2, 1, and we will start Mastermind. A 3, a 2, a 1. Always caught up in myself, lost in emotion. I tried talking to God and reading devotions, but it doesn't always work. I look into myself, stuck obsessing about my physical health. I feel pained and afraid, really going through it, cause one day I want to be as rich as Jennifer Love Hewitt. Sorry, I'm off on a tangent, my math must be off. Damn, I'm stranded in my obsession, suffer through this depression, spreading a message in all of my sessions. When I share my darkest confessions, hoping that one day I can call this a profession. Everything's okay on the outside, but the inside is numb. Everything's okay on the outside, but what's inside? Everything's okay on the outside, but the inside is numb. Everything's okay on the outside, but what's inside the twisted head of the mastermind? I'm getting ahead of myself here. Tonight I feel like my end's near, and that fills me with fear because I don't want to die without making an impact. I want to change the world, so I picked up rap because these words are poetic and connect. I'm not doing this for a paycheck, but still, when I spit I need to flex, cause every visionary needs an audience. I can't get it any other way. The game doesn't appreciate authenticity. They tear apart your words no matter what they be. They don't see the message behind them or the poetry, finna tear down your self-esteem. Everything's okay on the outside, but the inside is numb. Everything's okay on the outside, but what's inside? Everything's okay on the outside, but the inside is numb. Everything's okay on the outside, but what's inside the twisted head of the mastermind? I know my music is real and unlike the others. Doesn't mean that I don't appreciate my brothers. What it means is that I set my mind on being real, autobiographical. I write what I feel, but still wanna be like Kendrick or Cobain. I channel into art when I feel pain. But these demons drag me through the dope, show me propane, set me on fire, my skin burns up in flames, it's vivid. I can paint a picture cause I live it. Sometimes I'm livid at the hand I've been given. It hurts, and it burns deep in my heart. People lick me limb from limb and they did from the start. Sometimes I can't handle it, my heart palpitates from the stress. Mentally I'm a mess, mental game of chess. I lose every time, each and every day. Tear me down, look away. Trademark. Okay, and from there we flow into the Showtime remaster. So I'll give you a 3, a 2, a 1.
Homies tell me you're so vain, like what's sticking out of my neck. Rappers try stepping to me, doesn't matter, that's your death. I'll bury your career, leave you in the rear view. What up? It's time for my 15. You've already had a few. I'm rhyming with ill timing, flying over like I'm gliding. Game changer when writing. You see me smiling. I'm feeling great, there's no debate. Turning down the homies hate. Marking the drop date. Working on my next mixtape. Cutting that red tape. Unveiled. Show up, cause I prevail. Head high. All hail. Fly out to the desert to rap while I follow the pillar of fire like it's a silent cartographer. Looking for that pillar of autumn. Video games mixed with faith. Get me through the mental funk that comes with the autumn. Making lyricists look dumb. Fickle brains sucking thumbs. Paralysis, you're feeling numb. I'm off the streets, not a bum. Smack 'em down, slash 'em down till they gash. My action is brash, but don't call it brazen, cause it's calculated. I might imitate, but I don't duplicate. I innovate and I invent. I'm just trying to pay my rent. Not a dollar in my pocket, but I don't need your 2 cents. Nope, get it away. I'm proud of what I'm doing, cause I got a place to vent. I'm sticking around, camping out, pitch the tent. Young Steve's got ill intent. Build my fence with these schemes, stargazing at the sky, dreaming up the biggest dreams. Dope as the best fiend. Wrote the show tune for this beat. Wordsmithing in the sequence. Still, I might have some demons. Screw cigarettes, chain smoking cigars, streaming that I'll go far. It's showtime, so come along or get out of my car. I'm bipolar and genius, but dyslexic. You're not connecting the dots? Don't worry, I get it. I do. ADHD, but focus is shit. Haters ask if I'm taking it serious. Yeah, a little bit. Homie, this is my life. Like or dislike doesn't matter. I'm beating this game. Underdog like the Nats, but trust my theory. Stepping up to bat, I'll win this World Series. Trademark.
And those are our 2 remasters of 21 that will be included in the deluxe edition. So the next one is Young Lost and Deprived remix by Scrub Sounds. And the closest thing I can compare this to is, he actually told me this himself, is the Christoph Anderson remixes of old G-Eazy songs, like from These Things Happen and Before. And it's a very interesting, almost EDM feel, and it's a very, very interesting tune. And I felt it was good enough that I wanted it to be showcased on the album. So I will give you a 3, a 2, a 1, a go. You think you know trade, but the thing's man-made. Long nights wish you'd seen what's done to find Steve. Can you find me? Lend a hand. Feel free. That's not for you though. That's for me to know. Dragged by undertow, lost in overtones, making a series of letters to myself. Paint the picture of me and my past self. Am I obsolete? Put up on a shelf? Will I ever wander free from these shackles? My brain is damaged with issues to tackle. Come and hold me down. Pen, paper, and tacks. When will I bounce back? Cut myself some slack. I wish I would do that. But that's not where I'm at. Gotta keep grinding. This hole that I'm in will implode into the tallest mountain. Maybe I'll climb it. Higher the temperatures of the changing climate. If I reach the top, will my problems stop? Probably not, but shit. If I can move up, I won't ever quit. I'll reach the tip. The tip top and view over the valleys that were in my past. Look how far I've come, what I've overcome, my past life and drugs, before I found love. I watch in the sky as a dove flies by and catches my eye, moving rapidly toward forward directions. Will I follow it or stay rejected? A choice we all make every day, to take a step out of bed, to stay awake and live another day in the outside world where people don't see your life is at stake. It's not as easy as others might say, to live depressed in a funk every day. Hiding with a smile the same time as eyes glazed, not interested in other things mundane. Can I reach upward, up to grab the dove? Let it pull me up to the skies above? Can I ascend up to view from bird's eye? Let the wings take me tip top of the sky, so I can escape from the life despised, feeling ridiculed, young, lost, and deprived. Why are we alive? Should I question why? Where's the land that we go after we die and leave this life behind us? Goodbye. We seek answers, but nobody knows why. What's this conscious mind that claims we're alive? Have we arrived at the station, or is the train still moving? It's out of control, but keep on cruising. This crisis is man-made, suicide and ruin. What is this brewing in the depths below, where the mind falls in and freezes like snow? Will we ever cease from the pyramids that we build to yield our further increase? Can the dove change these ideals that have pleased the men of this world, passing years with feasts while a soldier dies panhandling in the street? Can the dove free these prisoners with binds tight holding their feet? The crime was simply loving the same sex they happen to be. I spend nights like these, pondering the world's deepest, truest needs. Trade. So that wonderful work of art, which truly is what that is. That is an amazing tune. Is by Scrub Sounds. Go check him out on YouTube. He is incredible, and he has lots of remixes out there. Remixes and remasters that he's done. So just a plug for the homie there. Any questions or comments on the first three before we get into our album finale here?
Yeah, Mastermind sounds really great, as well as Showtime. Both definitely feel like they come from, that album 21, but they've been given a new
life.
Instantly tell. Yeah, just like a completely new. I mean, it's the same songs, but they feel better.
Yeah. 100%.
They feel fully realized.
Yes, sir. I appreciate
agree.
that.
Yeah, and it was a pleasure working on those too. When I was actually mixing Young, Lost, and Deprived, the remix, I thought that was a banger. You know what I mean? Like the beat is just so calm and chill. You know what I mean? It's so enjoyable.
Yes, sir. Well, we're going to get in here, and then we're going to go ahead and end the stream because it is almost 12:30 in the morning. So this is the remaster with Pride, and I hope y'all enjoy. And remember to always be proud of where you're from and what you will overcome in life. A 1, a 2, a 3.
People see the white skin and assume your upbringing was the best. I can't tell you how often these people talk views, they think I should adjust. But they didn't see the abuse, but they didn't see the drug use. They didn't see the kids on the streets off their heads on the juice. But you know what they say, when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me.
Victims of eminent domain and government policies. We've all suffered down off Schoolhouse. Rich people live right down the street. Inspire not to throw in the towel. But where I'm from, the streets are foul. I've seen gangbangers and racists. I know junkies and rapists. That's the south side of Press Lane, where not much for status. I had friends rocking a different kind of blue lives. I've also known some who only stand with white lives. Fuck them no, peddling drugs on the street to bring in a little dough before college and student loans. I've never been one for violence, I can't condone. My neighbor used to keep us up all night crushing cars with a backhoe. True story, that guy died in prison serving a life sentence. He lost both of his legs cause he was a diabetic. His moms won the lottery and they crashed fast, taking on a life for drugs he couldn't take back. But shit, he was the neighbor from hell. My mama called the cops when he'd yell, "Welcome to Crest Lane South, it's our own slice of hell." Nobody's heard of it before now, but just made the map, oh well. Raise up the voice of a generation of young Americans, go tell. I can charm the snakes, they fall under the spell. So if you hate on my music, that's just swell. Just know I've never known the new shoe smell. But I am rich when it comes to true stories to tell. Just because I have the white skin don't mean I ain't been to hell.
Remember, y'all thought I was done?
Bills in my corner, that's my family. Send rappers to corner, you can't damage me. I've been writing for years for my sanity. To haters I'm throwing shade like a canopy. I used to pop pills straight from the vanity. Voices always spoke, but they wouldn't answer me. I thought I needed someone to manage me. I was losing to myself, acting outlandishly. Now I've got cheddar, ain't talking sandwich cheese. Step to the kid and I'll leave you with bandaged knees. Rappers to seats while I'm done spitting damage free. So I stomp on the gas so you can't trample me. Even if you tried, I bounce back like trampoline. Rocking this beat like it was my mango jeans. Haters, just stop with the banter, please. I don't want to have to make a new Phantom G. Made my own sound, I wear my own crown. I rap my hometown, I made it known now. Not just a locale, homie, don't frown. I put in the work for the end of show bell. Used to punch the clock at the store well. Now I'm working with artists out in SoCal. Label can't buy me, never say I sold out. Scribble down thoughts every time my soul pounds trade. That was from Built In With Pride, audio biography, chapter 2. Yeah, that one actually started from the piano solo at the end. That was the original sketch there for that beat. And I decided to actually keep it in just as kind of an homage to where I came from. Because you are only a product of what you can overcome in this life, and your experiences make you, and they shape you, and they make you into an honest person, and they make you into a person who's proud of what you've experienced and what you've overcome.
Yeah, that was a great song.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Everything about this album blew away my expectations. Not to say that I didn't have expectations. Well, I go into everything I do with no expectations. So I did have no expectations, but they were fair expectations to have. And I came away from this album thinking, holy crap, this is really great stuff. This is stuff that I want to listen to on a daily basis. This is stuff that opens up my mind to different possibilities in music. This is stuff that I listen to. Yeah, and this is stuff that I listen to and I analyze and I find my own meaning in it, or I find your meaning. We find a common meaning, and I can use those meanings to apply to my own life. And find some sort of message in that gets me through the day. Or I can just listen to some of the excellent producing by Poltergeist and mixing.
Yes.
And I could be like, damn, this just really sounds great. Like this just sounds so good to the ears. It doesn't sound overblown, overproduced like a lot of modern music are. It isn't overly loud or compressed. It sounds good. It sounds has an aesthetic to it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Both of you guys did tremendous on this album. And if you don't want to buy this album when it comes out, what's wrong with you? I mean, really, this is a great album and it's worth owning. Absolutely. And that's not because I play on it as well. Okay. It's not because I play on it.
Plus it goes to charity. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Goes to
So,
charity. And you know what?
That's a good enough reason within its.
Yeah. Goes to charity. Get some different, nice, high quality, well produced music that isn't just cookie cutter, that isn't just the same, beats that you've heard a million times with a different twist to it. It's artistic.
Yes, sir.
It's not the same. It's not the same. It's different. This is music. This is real music.
Thank you so much, man. That means the world. For real. Deep into my heart, man. From the bottom of my heart, that means the world. So
Also,
I guess we're going to have to get ready to conclude here. Once Poltergeist goes here.
I just want to say, being able to help bring this album together and whatnot, it's been a real honor working with a great gentleman. Gosh, I can't talk. Sorry, a great gentleman like Trade,
Thank you.
and helping achieve his vision. Got some great tunes here. And I think it'd be a great pickup. You know what I mean? Like it's definitely unique. It's artistic. And then you got like just raw talent coming from it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, man.
No worries.
So tell the people where they can find you online. Both of y'all.
I am located at the facebook.com/poltergeist, soundcloud.com/poltergeist. And if you are interested
Everything is
in
the
my
description. As well.
my mixing and mastering services is going to be under Poltergeist Productions. So that's going to be facebook.com/poltergeist productions. Just replace the E's with 3's and Poltergeist, and you got me.
Awesome.
Definitely go check him out.
SeaTactics, where can they find you?
I oddly enough don't do music. I mean, I do music, but not as my main thing. I talk about the medium of anime. You can find me over at youtube.com/C/SeaTactics.
I appreciate that. My dude, thank you for coming on and hosting us tonight.
No problem.
Y'all can find my socials in the description below. I have them all linked there, and my rap pad for whenever I post new lyrics. I appreciate each and every single person who's stuck around and watched this, top to bottom. And thank you. And I wish you all